Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing? Happy Fragrant Friday, and of course, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. You've seen the title and the description, so you know I am checking out none other than Dark Leather by Molton Brown, and this is an EDP, and this is my first time with this house, so I've really enjoyed that this week. And yes, this is yet another fragrance sent in by subscriber JP, and I really want to say thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this one, and I have 2 more to go that he has sent in. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, JP. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? This is a 2023 release, and this one lives up to the name. Okay, let me just say Dark Leather lives up to its name because it is for the, you guessed it, leather fans. If nothing else, this one was a fun one to wear because it is quite different, and I certainly appreciated that aspect of it. Another thing that I really liked was when I was reading over reviews, it's kind of all over the map. Some people love it, they hate it, it's gorgeous, it doesn't smell good. It's kind of all over the map, and I've appreciated that because if you have stumbled on this episode because you're checking out different reviewers, you will, I have a feeling, get different responses for Dark Leather. That's cool too. So this one definitely is for the leather fans. Now, let me dive in on the notes, and I'll also say quickly again, this is from the English, if I'm not mistaken, English house, Molton Brown. They usually have the circle on top of the bottle, and again, this is my first time with this house, and this is also my first time with this nose or parfumé, and that is Sylvie Fisher. Sylvie Fisher. And so a lot of firsts in this particular episode. Again, 2023 release. This is an EDP. So as far as the notes, I am going to give them to you because there aren't that many. You have elemi in the top, you have lavender and geranium in the mid, and then you have leather. And that, my friends, is just about it. Here's the thing about this fragrance that you will like or dislike. It is a very smoky leather. In fact, I would even go so far as to say that it is tarry. The tar comes into play here for me. And so it's funny because the burnt leather part is going to be quite attractive to people, but then it has the lavender. To me, it, in all transparency, in all honesty, I appreciate the originality of it, but I feel like they're trying to do and tackle and take on too much. That's just my take on this. I feel like I get it. I get the whole, and some people will love that actually. I can see a lot of people liking the fact that it's like lavender and it's just shaved. It's the barber shop, and then it's the leather jacket, and then it's the motorcycle breaks down. So now I smell kind of oily and gritty and dirty. Hey, more power to you if you like that particular one. I do like this one a lot. So sometimes if it sounds like I'm being harsh, I'm just trying to be as transparent and clear as I possibly can. I actually really, really like this one. I just can't say that I love it. I do appreciate, though, that what I said, if what I said sounds kind of almost random, I do like that about this fragrance, and I will miss it for that reason, because I feel like it is something different. Somebody else said that it did smell similar to the Encre Noire à l'extrême, and I disagree with that. And maybe some of you can chime in on that, because I know some of you have both. But I do not think so. I love that fragrance. I do feel like this one just has a little too much tar grit for me personally, contrasted with this attempt to have geranium and lavender. Again, I don't really appreciate the clash so much, but a lot of you absolutely could and would. So let me know if you do. For me personally, I would call this just a really good fragrance. I liked it. I wish that the tar element had been toned down a bit, but in its defense, it is called dark leather, so it certainly lives up to its name. So as far as what it smells like, again, yeah, imagine a guy going to a barbershop, getting a shave, then puts on his leather, James Dean-esque leather jacket, or the 1968 Elvis Presley comeback special leather outfit, and then on the way to the concert, his motorcycle breaks down and he has to fix it, so he has oil and tar and grit all over his hands. That is the best I can come up with. So I do like that image, and I do like the fact that they're trying to do something relatively unique in the leather category. So as far as the longevity, projection, and sillage, I have been grumpy lately, and I got good news on this one. In fact, this is another one. One thing I really like about this one is the projection is relatively low in a good way. So this is one of those fragrances. Every once in a while, I'll hit a sweet spot for those of you who like ones that don't project too much but last a long time. So the longevity on this one was very good, and I was happy with it. You will get an 8-hour work shift, or it will last all night if you go out in the evening. So longevity would be, I put it right at 8. Very happy. 8 to 10 if you want, because it didn't barely make it to 8. It was robust. It lives up to the EDP. I liked it. Projection was not as good, but again, I like the fact that it's relatively subtle, which is odd because you think dark leather is everything about this just screams in your face, and then all of a sudden it's kind of subtle. So that's cool too, really. And I found the projection, if I'm going to look at 3 feet or 1 meter from the body, you would be clocking in at about 4, probably to 6.5, 7, but it's the kind where somebody will have to lean in close to you to get a whiff, which you probably would like. So this would be a good date night fragrance if you are a leather fan. And then the sillage, walking past people, scent trail, scent bubble, is quite good. Again, you won't singe any nasal hairs, but this one is quite strong, so that's a good thing. And people will be able to pick it up for probably 4 to 5 hours. That said, it really is a clash, not just of the notes, but also when it comes to the fact that it is quite in your face as far as the aroma, but then it is subtle, and projection is not so much. So you see, again, clash is the operative word. When it comes to, I disagree with some people who said this one is closer to unisex. I do see this one as quite masculine. It is for women and men as far as its marketing, but I do see this one being more masculine, actually quite masculine, in fact, and I would actually put it about an 85-10. I mean 85-15, excuse me. And I would say 85% of the people who own it, who wanted it, it's their signature scent, would be men, and 15% would be women. I was a little surprised that a fair amount of people said that this could be a unisex choice. I don't know that I would agree with that. I do see this as quite masculine indeed. And then on age, I see this as more of 35 and up. I see this someone who's established in their field, and this is going to be quite popular with a lot of frag heads because it is relatively unique, and I just see this as a more mature but not like really out there, really old. Don't look at me like that. 35 and up. So that's the age I'm going to go with. And then as far as seasons, this one is another one of those really clear, heart of winter fragrances. So this is going to be a fall winter, and I do think this one would be a little much in the summer. So we'll go fall winter, and then maybe you could dip into the spring, which I hope so, because I certainly did. Just that. So that's the seasons. As far as versatility, it's not really that versatile. In it's funny because in some ways with the tar, I don't want to call this smelling like Fahrenheit, but I just mean I see it because it's not the petrol smell, but it is tarry, and I just mean Fahrenheit has the kind of violet leaf petrol element going on, gasoline, rubber, and then this one also has like this kind of tar and lavender going on with it, and I can't really call it versatile. I think what I would say though is it really comes down to, if you like leather fragrances, you would want to add this into your collection, because I don't know too many fragrances that smell like this. So there's something to be said about that. On that note, this one was tempted to move up. I was tempted to round up on my 5 spray rating system. I was tempted. But I'm going to stick with my initial feel, which is 3 out of 5. Now, hold on. I know a lot of you will say that's too harsh. I thought about bumping it up to 4 because of the originality factor. Here's the thing, though. 3 out of 5, I still have some of the 3s that I like, in fact, even have. So 3 out of 5 is still pretty good for me. I've said before, so I'll say it very quickly. 1 and 2s I don't like. 4 and 5s I would have in my collection. And the 3s is kind of a no man's land or no person's land, in the sense that some 3s I would recommend to others. It's just not for me. And then some 3s are kind of lukewarm. This is This is the former, and because I would recommend this one to anyone who likes leather-based fragrances. I think you would like it, and I did like it a lot. I just can't say that I've loved it. Like, for example, this week, there was one day where I busted out one that I bought recently because I was just excited about that one, and I wanted to make sure that, I just really felt like wearing it and taking a break for this one just for a day, and that kind of, to me, speaks to more of a 3 out of 5. I really enjoyed this one, but I also necessarily, I won't be terribly sad to see it go and move on to the next review. So it's just a like. I enjoyed wearing it. It's certainly different, and I took that into consideration for my review. I would like to smell more from Molton Brown. And then let me just quickly say that someone did mention, I think they have one called Russian Leather that apparently is similar to the same house, by the way, that is similar to this one, but they have discontinued that one. So you might want to take a look at this one as an option to that. I can't speak to it personally, but I wanted to point that out. To my knowledge, dark leather, the EDP here, has not been discontinued. JP, thank you very much for this, because if nothing else, I've really enjoyed reviewing Sylvie Fisher, the Parfumé, and I've enjoyed reviewing Molton Brown, the first from this house. So there you go. We're going to go 3 out of 5, knocking at the door at 4. Let me know what you think. Do you like this one? Do you agree with my assessment of 3, or would you say 4 or even higher? Let me know. And if you can't speak to this one, let me know if you like what your favorite leather-based fragrance would be. And if you can't speak to that, always let me know your scent of the day or scents of the week. 3 sprays. I'll go 1 on each side of the neck, and then why don't we go, since we're busting out Creator, why don't we go ahead and just go right all on the emblem itself? You know what I mean? So 3 out of 5. Boom. If I have enough. Boom. Uh-oh. I think I did. And boom. That might have been. Yep. That's all she wrote. How's that for perfect timing? So 3 out of 5 sprays, whether I liked it or not, for Dark Leather by Molton Brown. You guys have a wonderful week. Take care, and always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. If walking past. So really good. And I guess the operative word is clash here. In fact, wait a minute. This is completely random.
Look at this. Clash of the Titans.
You see? Clash. Now go listen to The Clash.